you need it because the climate controls kick off like, oh, that's illegal. Just to experience this car in sport mode, it's a cool sound. Hey everyone, I'm Justin from Allcarnews, and we're in the all-new Lexus RZ today, and I'm going to be taking this thing on a road trip. I'm looking at my map right here. We have Waze on, and we have 212 miles of a road trip to go through. Currently, we have 160 miles of range on this thing. It's almost full. It's around like 90-ish, 85% full. Unfortunately, we don't have a percentage on this car to check the battery. We just have this little gauge. There's not that much of kind of like information on this vehicle, which is a little annoying. I'm going to reset the trip meter to see how much miles we actually get. I plan on making either one stop or 2 stops along this way to charge up. Currently have one posted around near Hartford, I believe, Connecticut. We're going up to Massachusetts from New York. I'm going to take you guys on a quick tour of the exterior of this car before we head off. You know, total on this car with range, this particular one has the larger wheels, not the smaller 18-inch wheels, so it gets an EPA estimated range of around 196 miles versus the 18-inch wheels, I believe, can go up to 220, it says. Not the best amount of range, but this one is getting a stronger front motor versus its platform mates, which is the Toyota BZ4X as well as the Subaru Solterra. A little bit of confusing with the naming structures there. But guys, let's take a quick tour of this exterior because it is a pretty nice looking vehicle, I think, inside and outside. We have this really cool material in here. These seats feel really nice. The interior, I have to say, is very Lexified, meaning it feels very premium. Really nice door panels that like illuminate at night. We have electronic actuators to open the doors. Cool little stuff going on in the center console. Really nice, big, massive display. This awesome little electrochromatic roof here. Pretty cool stuff. So let's take a quick tour of the exterior. I'm going to show you guys that before we head off on this drive. We also have a heads-up display over there, and we have a nice steering wheel with a driver attention monitor. Quickly outside. It's a little windy. I'm sorry for the noise, guys. Really nice color. I believe it's called Ether. I think it looks really nice. I think this is where Lexus really nailed the design. Those signature LED lights. This badge does glow at night too, which is kind of cool. Smooth spindle body design Lexus has on this car. I think it looks pretty cool. Really nice side profile as well. Awesome. Now let's go take this thing on a drive, guys, and I will give you updates as we go on this drive here to see what's going on with range, with traffic. You can see some updates and things. And stay tuned. Hey everyone, you join me in the Lexus RZ, and we are on the highway now. We've traveled around 60 miles, at 62.5 to be exact, and we are in heavy traffic as usual in Connecticut. It's always traffic here. So this gives me a good opportunity to kind of give you guys an update on this trip so far and how I've been liking the RZ on the highway, which has been an interesting experience to say the least, good and bad. Okay guys, now you have a little bit of a better look at what I'm seeing on the Lexus, and here is our cockpit here at this massive touchscreen display, which honestly is actually quite good, very responsive, easy to navigate generally. The menus are a little bit confusing once you go into the actual Lexus system itself. Apple CarPlay is fantastic though. A lot of stuff is actually restricted while you're driving, which is, I guess, is for a safety reason, but can be a little bit annoying sometimes. What I do have an issue with though is that there is like 0 EV data information in here, and that really bothers me for a full electric vehicle. Like, you can't, at least I haven't found it, at least, but I can't find anywhere to even see our battery percentage, which is like insane. So we only see miles. So in that guessometer on the bottom right, we have this like fuel style bar in the center of this circle, and that's it. So that's a little disturbing. I kind of wish they would change that. I couldn't really find it in here. If someone knows how to find it in here and I'm going crazy, please let me know. If I try to find it, I'll make an update on this, but I haven't been able to see that. We do have this kind of trip information display over here. It's where you see your miles per kilowatt hour, and kind of like a trip data. And again, that's pretty much it. There's a history as well. And that's about it with the kind of like EV information. Yes, you can have a charging schedule, not really super helpful, honestly. I can see my all-wheel drive information, but again, that's it, and I think that's a little annoying. We have 4 main drive modes: normal, sport, eco, and range. So I've been honestly driving it in eco most of the time. Range mode limits you to 63 miles an hour on the adaptive cruise control on the highway, and it shuts off all of the climate controls and everything, which is crazy. But honestly, in this vehicle, you need it because the climate controls kick off like, oh, that's illegal. Okay, kick off like 20 to 30 miles of range on the decimeter, which is insane. I've never seen that. You also have a custom mode if you want to configure that as well. A lot of driving assist functions on this, and you know, I'm bashing this car on its EV stuff because I'm not gonna lie, sorry Lexus, but this is just not a good electric vehicle. It's just not. If it's an urban electric vehicle, I would not want to frequently road trip this car, which I'm doing right now just for the hell of it, for fun. But I don't think I'd want to do that. It maxes out around 196 miles of range on this battery pack, and this platform can't support a bigger battery pack anyway. I think it's around a 73 kilowatt hour unit. And the EV stuff isn't really incredible either. But that aside, as a car, it's very nice. It's super quiet in here. You have acoustically laminated glass, really cool. I think I showed you guys earlier this electrochromatic roof, which looks awesome. The interior build quality is fantastic, which you should expect from modern Lexus products. Really nice materials in here with these like synthetic leathers and this really nice like Novak style faux microsuede material on the seats and everything. Really, everything's put together really solidly. Buttons feel nice. And no complaints on this interior, except for this display. And this is an issue with all Lexuses, is that their digital gauge cluster is so bad. It's from 2014. I honestly think it's the same one from like that era at Lexus. It's so grainy. It looks blurry from just all the way back here. And this screen is so beautiful, high resolution, crystal clear. I'm like, what were they thinking? Even the RAV4 Prime I was just driving had a better screen up front than this. Now, I clearly can see that Lexus focused on this heads-up display. I'm not sure if this is coming across on camera, but this is a really good heads-up display. Not the biggest and not the most feature-rich heads-up display on the planet, but it's really interesting how Lexus kind of implemented this technology in here. As you see these two buttons on the side, right? Your two kind of control panels on your steering wheel. None of these are actually marked, and you can't see any of that information in this display, but it all shows up in the heads-up display. So if you're someone who isn't a fan of heads-up displays and doesn't like to be reliant on heads-up displays, I honestly would avoid this vehicle because you have to with these buttons. So and they're touch sensitive, but they're actual buttons. So I can just rub my finger on it, and if you can see on the heads-up display, it'll show me what I can see, what these buttons will do up there. And that also goes for your inside buttons and this bottom more switch as well. Really interesting stuff. And on your left hand side, you can see I have my phone controls and then if I press more, it switches to music controls, which is really interesting. And you'll always have your volume controls on the left hand side. So that's a really interesting piece of technology. I'm not sure if that's gonna kick off into the future, if it's popular or not, but one thing to note, really interesting. Another weird thing about this car is that there's no glove box. So you have this centerpiece, which is really big, and you have a kind of under storage underneath here, and that's about it. There's no like lockable storage in here, which is a little interesting. Instead, Lexus offers this new radiant heating. So this whole panel here, and I believe under where I am in the driver's area and like lower in the passenger area, are like these heating elements that will actually kind of heat up automatically. It'll actually the climate controls will only turn on in certain seats if someone's sitting in them. That's a feature as well. I think I can go in here, press climate. It is called S-Flow, yes. So direct air only to occupied seats. That's a really interesting feature. So I guess that's to improve efficiency, since this thing is not very efficient in general. As you can see now, I haven't actually had the climate controls on this entire drive because I'm scared of the range cutoff that it will do. So enough blabbering and stuff. I just wanted to give you guys an update, and I will probably give you guys another update as soon as we get to that charger. Otherwise, I'm going to keep on driving and stay tuned. Okay guys, you join me inside the Lexus, and we are getting off at our stop to go and charge. I'm being a little wasteful with some energy now. We're in sport mode, and I have my AC seats on because I'm sweating to death in here without having the air conditioning on. So yeah, we're heading over to an Electrify America station at a Walmart parking lot. Just give you a little chance to experience this car in sport mode. It's a cool sound. kind of funky. And like I said, Lexus actually developed their own whole kind of sound experience for the new RZ and their electrified future. So this should be fun. We're at 67 miles of range now. Honestly, I was expecting to be a little bit worse coming up here, so we've done a little bit better on efficiency than I was expecting. I can go home to the trip information for a second to show you guys. We've had like 39 miles an hour average speed, which is interesting. Not surprised, because we have been in traffic the whole time. We've done 103.2 miles so far on this trip. Okay guys, we are finally back with the RZ. It's plugged into this kind of tight Electrify America station over here, and unfortunately the RZ doesn't really show any information inside while you're charging, so we'll rely on this. It's currently charging at 54 kilowatts, but it was, and I'm gonna say was charging, I saw 120 kilowatts up there. I believe there will be a graph that'll come up. We've been charging for 18 minutes now, almost $12. We're charging, got 25 kilowatt hours delivered into this battery so far. So we started pretty low, around 33%, and we're gonna try to go up to around 80, 90-ish for this longer drive that I have coming up. Pretty cool stuff, not too bad. But I wish there was more information inside. So it's charging at 53 now. I know the charging curves on this thing aren't the best. I just went to pit stop at that Walmart over there. It's a weird layout with this charger over here, actually. This is a 150 kilowatt max charging speed. You can see the ports right there. Let's try to hop inside. Probably could have pulled over a little bit more to my right, but it is super, super tight over here. Ah, now it's showing on here. Okay, it wasn't before. So it says time to full charge, 25 minutes. But that's pretty much all the information I've really been able to kind of get out of this thing. Let me turn on accessory power. For you guys, comes to life. Big, gigantic display over here. Really cool. And it's powered up. Awesome. Continue. Let's see what we can find on this. Okay, so first prompt that comes up here says use climate system and power outlet while charging. I don't need that right now, but I guess if you want to use climate control and some power cords while you're charging, you can do that. But obviously you cannot start the vehicle and power it up. Let's go into the Lexus system itself. Let's check out what's happening in our settings here. Drive mode, driving assist, trip information. Nothing here for terms of charging schedule, and that's it. So I don't think there's like any kind of like information really of like what's coming into this car, which is so weird. I can't find anything either in the settings. So like I said, guys, let me go general. No, we went there. Wi-Fi display, nope. Navigation, vehicle customize, maybe. Charging, charge current. Yeah, you can change your charge current, charging limit, connector, battery cooling, and DC charge power. And that's about it. And yeah, so that's a little bit interesting. We see an Ionic 6 charging here as well as a Bolt, kind of cool. And these ones are open. This one's actually dead. I actually pulled into here first. I was gonna show you guys this, and it's just completely knocked out. Not even turning on. So that's really unfortunate. So this is charger Sol 3. These ones seem to be working as well. I saw some cars plugged in over here. Yeah, these seem to be worked up. And actually on my charger, the left cord is dead, which it does show up right here. So it says this one's unavailable when I came in here. And you can see the charging speeds now slowing even more as we get higher in the pack. Really interesting. Interesting charging curve on this RZ. Nonetheless though, pretty seamless experience. It didn't have any issues other than that charger being dead, and I will kind of update you guys as this journey continues. So we're almost just about to end our charge. We're almost at 90%, and the only reason I'm charging to 90% is I have a really long ways to go, and there really isn't any fast charger. I think there's like one in between here where I have to go, and it just wouldn't make any sense. So we're just charging it up, and this thing doesn't have the most amount of range, so we're gonna see how much range we have going to our next destination. We will be completely fine, by the way, but I just want to get enough juice in this thing to get us going. Let's check out where we're at right now, and we're going to unplug and head off. Just before we unplug and head off, check out this cool glowing Lexus logo. It actually stays lit while you're charging. I guess to indicate while it's charging. So we're at 88%. I'm just going to wait for it to go to 90. It's pretty slow on the top end of this pack, just 9 kilowatts going into this battery right now. We've delivered 3.9 kilowatts. Kilowatt hours at this point. This was a higher number. I'm not sure why it's kind of like flipped on us. I'll see the total stats later on. 20 minutes to 100%. We're not going to go to 100% though. That's fine. And thankfully on here, it shows us our percentage, 83%. So I cannot see the percentage inside, which is really annoying. It's just really weird. You can only see the percentage inside while you're charging, I believe. Let's turn the lights off so it stops yelling at me. And it doesn't even show it on here still. Come on, Lexus. Okay, everyone, time to stop charging. I think we're fine at 89%. I'm gonna stop charging. Let's get out of here. Nonetheless, let's unplug this. This is really hot, actually. And pop this thing back into here. Do I want a receipt? Sure. Send me a receipt on my phone, please. Oh, okay. It'll get it on my app. I did this on the app. Anyways, I'll give you guys that exact information when I hop inside. Let's close up this charging port and head off back on our road trip. Now, let's see how much range the Lexus states on the inside, because that's going to be interesting. Charging stopped, power on. So if we're at 89% state of charge on this battery pack, 177 miles. Okay. So I would assume 100% would probably end up being 190-ish miles. Not too bad. And let's head off on this road trip. It is getting dark now, and I still have a bit of a ways to go. So we are almost at our destination, and I just want to give you guys another little update after that charge at that Electrify America station, which was pretty good. We have dropped back down to almost 84 miles of range. So like I said, this thing is not a range monster whatsoever. We're taking this exit right here. And you know, we don't have that much to drive left, and I will be charging again before I depart. So let's pop it back into sport mode for fun. And honestly, after I turned off the driver awareness assist thing, now I don't have any more complaints with the technology in here. Yes, it's very good. I'm sure they have that on if you want to remain aware, if you feel like you're distracted driving, and it's a good feature to have. But for me, it was just a little bit annoying to use most of the time. Because I'm always paying attention to the road, and I literally, if I looked over to the infotainment system for a second, it was like beep 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 beep. I'm like, okay, please stop. So I fixed that. Nonetheless, guys, it's really unfortunate that this car doesn't have such a strong range, because I really and genuinely do like driving this thing. It drives really well. The grip levels are actually kind of like incredible. Just going on and off some like sharper on ramps and stuff. This thing's really, really good around the corners in terms of having grip. I wouldn't say it's a very dynamic car, but it handles itself pretty well. If you're comparing this to like a Cadillac Lyriq, this handles much, much, much better, has much more of a poise and strength to it. You can like kind of thrash it around a little bit. The Lyriq's a bit more softer and likes to be a little bit more of a gentle riding experience. Oh, this is dangerous over here. Nonetheless though, very comfortable car on the highway. I have to say the suspension is a huge highlight for me as well. It soaks up bumps incredibly well. Anyways, guys, I just wanted to give you a quick little update. We're still averaging 2.9 miles per kilowatt hour. I'm not sure if that's correct or not. It hasn't changed at all. It could be wrong, so I'm not too sure about that. Otherwise, I will update you when we get to our destination and we'll see our final stats. So we finally made it to our destination, and let's see what's happened with the RZ. So we have traveled 195, apologies for the infrared sensors there, we've traveled 195.9 miles on this trip. I'm not sure if you can see that right there. And we have 75 miles left of range here. It still says 2.9 miles per kilowatt average. Again, I'm not sure if that's 100% accurate, even coming over to this kind of trip information display. This isn't, yeah, so with trip range, 75 miles left, an hour and 43 minutes was just done on this particular run. Some version history here. It still says 2.9. It's pretty interesting. You can update and clear data, which is pretty cool. But that's it. Like, I wish there was more information on like data and stuff inside the vehicle, but we don't really have that. So to sum up this RZ experience, like I said a few times in this video, great car, not a good EV. I really wish they can improve on this EV stuff, because it's a really fantastic just general driving experience and car inside and material wise and everything. Nonetheless though, thank you all for joining me on this video, and make sure to see my full review, POV drive, and technology tour that I will be doing with this coming soon. Anyways, cheers, and stay tuned for more coming soon on Allcarnews.